Welcome to Get Organized at Work. I'm your host, Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, healthcare leader, mom of three, and your go-to guide for ditching the chaos and taking control of your workday. This is the show where we turn overwhelming to-do lists into clear, actionable plans so you can crush your goals and show up as your best self at work and in your life. Whether you're here for strategies to stay ahead or systems to simplify your workday, you're in the right place. Let's get organized, have some fun, and make this year your best year in your career yet. Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to Get Organized at Work podcast. I'm Kayla. I'm your host, healthcare leader, systems builder, nerd, and creator of the Get Organized at Work podcast community, where we build the systems that allow you to lead, live, and work without constantly feeling behind. And today I want to give you a very real, honest look into how I actually run my work and my business without burning out. Because from the outside, it might look like a lot. I'm a system transfusion medicine program manager overseeing multiple locations, teams, and system level initiatives. I teach transfusion at the University of Minnesota, at least right now. I run this podcast. I run my business. I'm creating tools, teaching leaders how to get organized and building a community. I'm a mom of three. I'm training for another half marathon. And I want to be really clear about something. I'm not able to do this because I have more time than everybody else. No, I don't. I'm doing this or able to do this because I have systems that help support me. And those systems have changed everything. So I just want to talk to you all about that today. Some of the things you've heard of and maybe some of the things you haven't, and encourage you, hopefully help you find a system or systems that can help support you, guide you towards the right thing that might work for you in your season of life, right? Everything is sort of on, a cycle, right? We have ups and downs of our lives. We have different seasons where things work for us, and we have to be constantly adapting and evolving. So let's start at the turning point when working harder stopped working for me. There was a point early in my career when I thought the answer was just to work harder, be more responsive, keep everything in my head, push through, be the person who always had the answer, keep a lot of lists, constantly check things off, be that person who never dropped the ball. And while that worked for a while, it did come with a cost. Mental fatigue, decision fatigue, that constant background feeling of what am I forgetting? Also, resentment for my work. This job that I worked so hard for, that I loved so much, I started to wonder, do I even like this job? And it wasn't because I wasn't capable. It was because I was relying on my brain to do a job it wasn't designed to do. Your brain is not designed to store and manage everything forever, ever. No. Your brain is designed to think, lead, and create. Your systems should hold everything else. I don't know the exact quote, but I heard somewhere that your brain isn't necessarily for storing, it's for thinking. Put the information somewhere where you can retrieve it, use your brain and the brain power you have to generate new ideas and connect different neural networks, make connections, think differently, be innovative. So that's why I was like, okay, I can do a lot with pen and paper, with lists and just my brain, but I can do so much more with systems. So this led to my core philosophy that my brain is for leading or leadership and not for storage. I always talk about my mom and how she said, it's got to be on the calendar, or it never happened. And this is definitely true for me. And I have no shade anymore. If someone asks me, hey, do you remember the date this thing is? I'm like, nope, let me go find it because I just don't care to store everything all the time. I have a system. So almost nothing lives exclusively in my head. Everything has a system that I trust, and that trust is what protects my energy. And these systems, I don't want to say that they're perfect. I also don't want to say they're rigid. I don't want to say they put me in a container or a vacuum. But I create systems that can flow and ebb and flow with my energy and season of life. It has to be adaptable. When you trust your systems, your nervous system can relax. You can say, oh, okay, I got this. My systems have me. You're not constantly scanning or mentally juggling. You know exactly where things live. And I want to walk you through what the actual systems are that I use and how each serve a different purpose in my life. The most important system I use for my healthcare leadership role right now and my operational work is my OneNote Hub. This is my operational command center. That's where I organize my projects, meeting notes, department initiatives, my teaching materials, my reference information, and my leadership planning. Everything related to the execution of my work lives in this hub. And it's the reason that this works so well is because OneNote functions like a digital binder. It's a notebook. It allows me to structure information in the way that mirrors how I think, how I might write. And I have sections for different areas of my responsibilities, pages for specific projects, meeting notes stored where I can find them. I can search. I don't need to see them all the time. They're there when I need them. Nothing's floating. Nothing's lost. Everything has a home. Does it get messy a little bit? Sure. I clean it up as I need to. And when everything has a home, my brain doesn't have to hold on to it. I'm like, oh, this dramatically reduces my mental load. Now, I will say, and I haven't talked about it very much on this podcast, but I actually use Notion right now for my business planning and vision system. I've used Asana in the past. I like to play around with different tools for my business so that I can share them with you all and let you know how they're working for me. So right now I use Notion for my business planning and vision system, whereas my OneNote is for my career, my healthcare leadership operational hub. So in OneNote, I organize my podcast content calendar, content for my Get Organized at Work podcast community. And it also has my product roadmap, my long-term business vision, course ideas, launch planning, revenue tracking. Notion allows me to zoom out and see the bigger picture. And this system, I would say, is for more advanced users. You can do some database creation, some coding, some prettier functions than maybe Microsoft OneNote, but it's something that is free and available on the web. And it's not something that organizations usually promote. It's something that I see a lot of entrepreneurs, content creators using. So just kind of wanted to share. That's why I use it for my own personal business, because I'm not limited to Microsoft for that. Another system that has made a huge difference is using Kanban boards to manage projects and priorities. This has allowed me to clearly see what's not started, what's in progress, what's waiting, what's completed. I can even delegate to folks by tagging them on the Kanban board, whether it's using Microsoft Loop or maybe a Microsoft Task by Planner board. So instead of constantly deciding what to work on next, the system shows me. It follows the plan that I've given it, and it helps me maintain it by making it streamlined, easy to review, and it reduces my decision fatigue dramatically. And decision fatigue is one of the biggest hidden causes of burnout. When your system shows you what matters, you don't waste energy deciding. You use your energy executing, directing. Now, I use Kanban boards both in my healthcare job and my leadership business. I find them super helpful for keeping track of projects, tasks, the highest priority things, keeping me on track for the bigger, broader year of intention, innovation, and execution. I also use Microsoft Teams in general to intentionally structure communication and collaboration. Instead of using it reactively, I organize my channels, team chats, and projects based on my priorities. This ensures conversations, files, decisions live in the right place, and it helps reduce searching for myself and for my team members. It reduces interruption, and it creates clarity, not just for me, but for everyone I work with. So organization is not just a personal productivity tool. It can definitely be a leadership tool. And if you've used Teams before, you know you can add apps like Task by Planner and Loop and Visio and all these other things that you might use in your day-to-day and keep them centrally in one location. And for that, I love it. I also love creating specific running chats for my team to kind of bucket and sort our conversation. So we have one chat for all of the frontline team members that are using our specific transfusion medicine blood bank software. It's awesome. It's a chat for peer-to-peer questions, and leaders can hop in to help. Our IT team can hop in to help. I have certain chats for just my leadership team. And then I have one-on-one chats with my team members, people that want to reach out to me for certain topics. It's lovely, and it keeps everything centrally in one spot. Now, all these tools are wonderful, but if you don't have habits around them, they might not work great for you. One of the most important habits that supports all these systems is something that I call my weekly reset. And it's the thing that helps everything to keep working. It's where I review my OneNote projects, my Notion business plans, I review my Kanban boards, my upcoming priorities. And so it allows me to enter each week with clarity, not confusion. And for me, and I know for many others, clarity creates confidence. And confidence allows you to lead effectively and with a spring in your step. You're excited to do this work. And why are we doing this if we don't love it, right? We've got to enjoy being a leader and executing, getting things done, and having fun in the process. So this weekly reset does live in my OneNote. I have created a dashboard for myself, daily, weekly dashboard where I'm looking at my leader standard work, my calendar, my tasks and to-dos, my projects. I'm asking myself questions, what does success look like by Friday? What am I intentionally deprioritizing this week? Are there any decisions I need to make? Anything I'm avoiding? Is there something I need to do by Friday? What are the things this week that matter? And I include quick links for myself to reference specific areas that I manage, one-on-one meeting notes, etc. So if you want to check that out, I will link the OneNote Hub template for you in the show notes or in the description below. Otherwise, if you do become a member to our podcast community, it's included inside the community in the free resources tab for you. All right, so to wrap this in a bow, I feel like the biggest benefit of all of these systems is not productivity. It's peace. It's knowing that nothing is floating. It's knowing that I'm not relying on my memory. And it's knowing I have a system that supports me and my well-being. And it allows me to be present at home, present at work, present with my family, a present leader. Because I'm not carrying invisible mental weight everywhere I go. I leave it inside my systems. Now, this was built very gradually. I didn't build it overnight. This was built one system at a time, one improvement at a time, one decision to stop relying on memory and start relying on structure. And every time I've strengthened a system, my stress has decreased and my confidence has increased. Because again, like I said, clarity builds confidence. So if you have been here for a while, if you're OG, thank you so much. If not, I will tell you, I've been doing this podcast since 2018, not consistently until recent years, but because of systems, I've been able to create consistency for this pod, knowing that was the right thing to do. Early in my career, I was teaching myself systems. Like I said, I got my first leadership position in 2015. So it's been like 10, 11 years of really honing in all these systems and figuring out what works best for me. And like I said at the top of this episode, our seasons of life changes since way back 2015. Like I said, I have 3 children now. I've changed roles many times, been promoted many times, managed different areas of the lab, got teaching gigs, done a ton of speaking, and really honed my skills, learned a lot about myself. And so, like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, but the cool thing is I'm here and willing to share the systems that have worked for me and help you tweak them for you. So if you're listening to this and thinking, I want that clarity, I want calm, I want systems that I can trust, this is exactly why I created the Get Organized at Work podcast community and my OneNote Hub system. So like I said, these tools exist to help you build systems that support your leadership and your own mental well-being, because you don't need to work harder. You want to work smarter with a system that supports the leader that you already are. So I would encourage you to come check out our podcast community. The link is in the description below. And like I said, the OneNote Hub is inside there for free. Otherwise, you can purchase the OneNote Hub without joining our community. So I will leave that up to you. I hope to see you inside or having got the OneNote Hub so we can chat about how it's working for you. But I'll close with this. Your leadership doesn't come from doing more. Remember, you are valuable just for being you. And for doing the work that matters, it comes from having systems that allow you to focus on what matters most. Your leadership comes from systems that protect your energy, that create clarity, and systems that allow you to lead with confidence. So thank you so much for being here. I love seeing this podcast grow over and over, week over week. And if you wouldn't mind, I would love it if you left me a podcast rating or review, especially if you're on Apple Podcasts. This is how that podcast reaches more people, by getting more reviews and ratings. I would love to see that number go up this year. Otherwise, I will see you in the next episode next week. Take care.